Hello, happy 8th of December. So today I would like to combine a bit or do a kind of extension of the last few days. So combining a sort of movement with the pelvis. Like yesterday, we were moving circles with the pelvis. We're exploring what kind of movements are possible there, how the pelvis wants to move, and what is possibility for big and small. And the days before that, we also did a bit with tensing and letting go, the possibility of doing something, of holding tension in one place or making an effort with one part of the body, and with at the same time seeing how is it possible to let go as much tension as possible in other parts, or how, like what is possible there, like to explore this. So today we're gonna do an exercise that that sort of works with effort and reducing effort, like doing something that is quite brings a lot of effort, but seeing how is it possible to be with that and at the same time make as little effort as possible. So it's a really interesting exploration. I like, in my view, to see, because like sometimes like when we make an effort, it's almost like we're adding and adding to the effort. So like something is challenging us, like yeah, it could be like a bodily movement, like what we're going to do today is like holding out the arms for a few minutes and doing a movement with it. So this is can be extremely it gets heavy very very quickly, and um, yeah, so something like this, we start to, when we start to tell ourselves, oh, it's so, I can't do this, and it's so much effort, and I hate this, or and we're starting to sort of to get more and more hard with ourselves, or like resisting the movement. And resistance is an extremely powerful and good force. So I'm not saying not to resist. We're going to work actually with this tomorrow with resistance. But yeah, the possibility to see, like, how can I play with this at this moment? So like, yeah, with the bodily things, we can get very stuck on this, and then we add more effort. I hate this. And also with something that is challenging us intellectually, or like a situation that we have to solve or something, it's really easily to get cramped with it. So like holding on and then adding effort to it, and in my experience with my own challenges, it actually, like, it doesn't really help the situation. Like this extra effort, it's one thing to say this is a challenge, and now I see, do I want to make this challenge, or do I want to leave? And if I decide, oh no, I like, it's important enough for me, I want to stay with it, even though it's painful or challenging or effortful or something, I still want to stay with it. Then to see how can I reduce effort, to also to stay, to somehow to stay open to all the possibilities, to not get so narrowed in and so cramped up with the situation that I don't I don't see the possibilities, which often happen in challenging situations, that we only see I have to sort of push myself through this, and we lose the possibility of asking for help, of doing it maybe in a different way, um, of leaving it altogether. All of this, so the possibility of letting go of that extra effort to see how, how can I stay curious with this? How can I stay open with this? So the movement that we're going to do today is an exercise from the Greenberg method, or that I've learned through the Greenberg method. And one of my the other students there in my group, she called it the zombie exercise, which I find it helped it for me also to stay a bit humorous with it. while doing it instead of getting serious. So it's like this. We're gonna move down the screen a little bit. We're gonna do a small movement with the hips, and it goes like this. It's just, or like with a pelvis. So the pelvis is going forward and going back, forward and back. So you can bend your knees a little bit in order to have that, but just a little bit, without it being sort of heavy on your legs. So you're just moving the pelvis back and forth and back and forth. And then you're going to, while doing this, first thing is that you're gonna try to keep your vision broad, and it is like this. If you look at your two fingers, holding the hands in front of your body, and you move the fingers out to the sides, and you try to keep both of them in your vision. So your vision sort of moves out to the sides, and this is the kind of vision that you want to try to keep during the exercise, to not narrow in, to not get narrow, but to keep your broadness through it. And the third thing you're going to do, so this is the last thing, is that you're going to hold your arms like this in front of your body, and see how you can make as little, so like your arms are up, there's muscles activated to keep your arms up, but how is it possible to still make as little effort as possible holding them up? So I'm going to try this. So I'll show you from the side. So, and we're going to do this with the breathing. That's a fourth last thing. So breathing out, moving the pelvis forwards, breathing in, going backwards. So you can do it in your own pace, and the pace can also change while you're doing it, because maybe you will need to make it slower or need to make it quicker. This is my pace at the moment. And I'll turn to the front so it's possible to hear me better. So the vision is broad as possible. And we're moving as softly as possible with this, tipping the pelvis back and forth. So we're just going to do this, like trying to see, is it possible to keep the vision as broad as possible? Is it possible to make as little effort as possible in the shoulders and in the arms? And then the upper back. Can the neck be free? You can move your neck a bit. And when it starts getting challenging, which is quite quickly when you're holding your arms like this, seeing if you can drop effort. So instead of adding effort and going, oh, this is challenging, holding your breath and getting narrow, see if you can breathe a little bit deeper. Slow down and drop effort. And see if you can invite intensity. So it's getting intense. Maybe you're starting to get warm. Now then it's starting to get cold is one a really good way to get warm again is to really to to see how you can like start moving your pelvis and activating your legs. And it's amazing how even such small movements, they can bring even more heat. And I notice it immediately. We think we have to, like running around or making big exercise is definitely a very good way to get warm, but like this like intensive, very attentive movement, working a bit with conscious sort of effort making, and especially activating legs and pelvis, can bring a lot of heat. Neck is free, jaw is free, the vision stays broad, and the pelvis is moving very softly back and forth. A little bit longer here. Staying soft and staying broad. Inviting intensity, letting go of effort as much as is possible. Just a little bit longer. Oh, and then letting go. Letting the arms fall. And just letting the arms hang for a moment. And exploring what that does. This movement, this moment of dropping the effort completely, of letting the arms fall down. What is this moment like? What is it like to have done a very conscious, intense effort for a specific amount of time, and then letting go? And you can breathe up towards your shoulders, and with every breathing out, allowing them to drop a little bit more. Seeing if there's any kind of trembling, and to invite that also. And now also to invite conscious movement. See, see what does the body wants to do with that now at the moment. How does the body wants to move? How does it want to stretch out? Maybe pull together. What feels right for the body right now? What is it saying that it needs? So this was a little bit longer training. I'm very, very challenged at keeping it to my idea of 10 minutes. But I hope you enjoyed it, or at least found it interesting, even though it was with effort. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow again.